G'day, JP here from MQ Media. Today's Centenary of Speed podcast is a chat with Brisbane motocrosser Taylah McCutcheon. There might be that much of Taylah, but don't be fooled. You've only got to talk to her for a few minutes to realise that she's got an energy and an intensity and a ferocity about her that makes it perfectly clear she's not there to make up the numbers. Right now, though, a serious crash and a facial injury has placed her whole career on hold indefinitely. So now's probably a good time for us to have a chat with her and see where she's at. Let's get into it. Definitely good to see you here today. So, mate, I guess first up, the here and now, what's the latest with your recovery, mate? Obviously, you had a very big accident and most people are aware of it now, but do you want to just tell us a little bit of the detail?
So about 6 weeks ago now, I had a life-changing accident. I broke pretty well every bone in my face. I ended up with a massive cut in the middle of my nose. It was about 26 stitches. I had 2 surgeries. It was a really big process. It took a while to get good again. But we're at the 6-week mark now. We're about, hopefully I'm going to say about halfway through. I don't really know, it's hard to say when I don't know how well my face is healing. But so far everything's going really good. It's just a day-by-day process, and it's more or less just it's a time healing thing and a mental side of it all. So other than that, everything is going really smoothly and the healing is really well so far.
Mate, it has to have been a little bit difficult for you, I guess, because motorcycles have been the centre of your life for years and years and years now, and I guess you've gotten out of bed, well not gotten out of bed, woken up in bed one day and gone, these things have really bitten me hard. Was there a time when did you have to get over your relationship with the bike? Did that suffer?
Yeah, it did. I'm going to say for the first 3 weeks of my injury, I didn't want to look at a bike. I didn't want to get on one. I signed out of my Instagram account, my motocross one, and literally had no interest in going through it. I didn't want to look at any social media or anything, nothing to do with the motorbike. I just wanted to burn them. I had nothing for it, and then it wasn't until the 3-week mark. Dad was prepping up my practice bike ready to sell, and I just said to him, I was like, let me just go for a quick ride. This is 3-week mark. I put a helmet on, I put thin padding in so I could get my face into it, and I just went for a little putt around out the back. The moment I put the helmet on, I forgot about everything. I forgot I even crashed, and Dad's saying that, he's like, stop riding, you're scaring me. But yeah, ever since then it's been really smooth. But yeah, the first 3 weeks were hell. I didn't know what I was going to end up with. I really didn't.
So I guess you've got to take your time, mate, to make sure that you get your head around, you process this the right way, and you make all the right decisions. Have you decided if and when you'll be coming back? What the future holds?
I will be back. I know I will. I've done it since I was 4. It's in my blood, it's my passion. It's the only thing I wake up and think about. So I will be back, definitely. I know that. I don't know when, I don't know what race it will be. I don't even know if it'll be in Australia at this point. I definitely want to go overseas. I just want to make sure I get my health, my mental side of things. I want to make sure everything is spot on before I get back on that bike, because at the end of the day it hit me pretty hard mentally. So if I can get back on and be stronger than what I was when I left, I'll be stoked. So it's just a day-by-day process, but I will be back. I definitely will be.
So how have your sponsors handled all of this? And I guess there's a fair bit of doubt now about how long it's going to be before you come back and stuff. And how has Empire Kawasaki handled all of this?
Amazing. They've had my back through everything these past 2 years. I obviously haven't given them the results that we all planned to when I signed, but they've had my back through everything. They've been such big supporters of mine. Every day, just about every day they're checking in on me, seeing how I'm going, what my plans are, when they want to get me my bike ready, just everything. They've been so amazing to me. So obviously I signed 2 years with them. I'm still with them for this year, so hopefully if we go racing, we go racing, and I dedicate it all to them. They've been nothing but the best to me. All my sponsors, Alpine Star, 100%, Serco Motorsports, Kawasaki, Empire, just every single person that's had my back has literally had my back. So yeah, I appreciate them more than anything.
Certainly, you've really set the place afire since you come out of juniors and won the Queensland champs at your first attempt, and and then obviously there's been so many highlights, including the trip to New Zealand this year. I believe that I know that you kicked some big goals there, and you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, New Zealand was sick. I put everything I needed to on the line, and I'd done exactly what was planned. Me and my trainer worked so hard in the off season. It's all I'd done. I woke up, rode, or went to the gym. I just done everything I needed to do that day. And you know, that first moto didn't go to plan. Too many mistakes. And that second moto, I was leading. I did have a very good jump, but I had a malfunction with my goggles, which I couldn't see, which was unfortunate. But that last moto, I ticked off every single thing I needed to do and won that race by about 15 seconds. I was the fastest in all motos, so I was stoked with the way I rode. I made a statement, and me and my trainer was stoked. It was awesome.
Was it different racing in New Zealand to being in Australia?
I raced there in 2022 as well, and honestly, I reckon it's similar. The tracks are way better. The tracks are sick over there. But in saying that, I've grown up here, so I've ridden all the tracks around here. So just to race something different, it was so cool. The atmosphere is amazing. Everyone's so nice over there. So yeah, it was just awesome to be over there racing.
Fantastic. So let's say the recovery continues perfectly on track. You get yourself back on the bike. You're going fast again. What would the future hold for you? What's your best case scenario?
Best case is it's so hard to say because I don't even know where I'm at. I want to be able to race. I want to try my best to get overseas eventually. I don't know when. I don't know what round I'll get over for the WMXGP. I want to get over there. It's been my goal for 2 years. I've just had injuries on injuries, and it just hasn't been too great. But the best feeling I think could be, you know, having such a big injury and then healing so well and going over there and racing and finally doing exactly what I need to do. That'd be a pretty big stepping stone for me. So I'll just take it as it comes. I don't know if that's going to happen this year. Maybe next year's the year. I just want to get myself sorted before I think about racing.
Have you had any interest from over there? Do they know who you are?
Yeah, I have. I was meant to go over last year with the big team, but unfortunately that didn't go to plan either. But hopefully I'll get over there. I'll ride for Kawasaki again with one of the teams over there. And then honestly, I'll just take it as it comes. If there's an offer over there, I'll definitely go over. But I have been in contact with a few people, so it'll be awesome to actually get over there and put a face to their name.
I'm curious, mate, what does motorcycling actually mean to you? The motorcycle racing, what does it mean to you?
The world. I honestly can't even explain how it makes me feel. Just the atmosphere, just the adrenaline I get. There's nothing that'll ever compete to it. Like, I'm so bored now, doing nothing. It's all I think about. I just love it. I get excited. Just thinking about it now is making me smile. I love it. It's my entire world.
Yeah. And what about like when you were sitting on that start line ready to go? What's the feeling there?
Win. I don't know, sometimes it's different. When I'm nervous, I'm like shaky. I don't even have any feelings. But if it's honestly the New Zealand race, I'll put, as that's the only race I've done this year so far. First race, I was as nervous as anything. I was stressing. I was like, oh, better go to plan. And then the moment the gates drop, you just forget about everything you think about. And yeah, I don't know, you're just the adrenaline. You're just ready to go. Mm-hmm. It's the best feeling ever.
Mm-hmm. So you would have been looking at your bike, waiting for you loyally at home in the garage there, I take it?
Yeah. I don't know, it's just looking at my bike. Even seeing the bike after I crashed, I thought I'd hate it, but honestly the bike was fine. The bike was completely fine. And then even, you know, when I get home from New Zealand and I just see the bike, the first thing I think about is, right, let's go riding. And, you know, we just come back from 2 weeks over in racing and riding. I come home and it's, all right, where are we riding? And see, yeah, I love it. It's the best thing.
Who are your favourite rivals to race against?
Obviously, you'd say Charlie Cannon. She's obviously the benchmark at the moment. She's had 2 consecutive years. She's been solid. It's just a shame that I always injure myself, but I know when I'm fit and healthy, it'll be a good race between us. It showed it at QMP. Fortunately, we both went down, but that's racing, you know, it's part of it. And then even in New Zealand, again, it was good racing. So I would definitely say Charlie's arrival. You know, you've got Taylor Thompson, Talia O'Hare, even Maddie Healy now, Emma Milicevic. There's so many of us that are coming up in the ranks that it's so good to see, you know. Yeah, it's just awesome to see the atmosphere and just see how many girls you can actually get racing at a high-end speed. It's awesome.
And what's the relationship like between you top girls? I mean, is it cordial and sort of collegiate, or is it a bit frosty in places? Does the competitiveness come into it from time to time?
That's a tricky one. You know, sometimes it can be really good and you get along really well, and then other times it's it's not so good. I think it just depends on who's winning at the time. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It just depends, I reckon.
Yep.
I would say that that's about it.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. What so far, as far as your racing memories go, what's your favourite one?
So I reckon I love New Zealand. I can't fault it. It was the best I'd felt in a while. So New Zealand was such a high for me, that last race. So that was definitely a solid one. 2018 Aussies. That first race, I passed Charlie. I think it was 3 corners to go on the last lap. That was a sick race. That got my heart pumping. I don't know, any race with Charlie's awesome. I got to give it to her. She's a sick rider. So any race with her, or even Taylah Thompson up in Queensland, it's always good to race them too.
Yeah, that's right. Like some of the riders who had the fiercest rivalries with people end up being the people who've reached the greatest heights because they've had to push so hard.
100%. I reckon, like, you know, racing's not racing unless you have somebody better than you. I'll always stick by that. So I think it's just I don't know. I would say if you have somebody there that's quicker than you, it's only going to make you better.
Yep.
You know, rather than winning by 20 seconds, you're getting a lot out of it, but you get more out of racing somebody that's going to be quicker than you.
What do you say to young girls that are considering entering the sport of motocross but look at it and go, oh, gee, that's a bit intimidating, or a bit dangerous looking, or a bit aggressive looking? Or do you have any advice for people who are thinking about it?
Go with your heart. It's scary at first, 100%. I don't blame you guys. It's so scary at first. I know my first feeling. It's petrifying. The moment you put that helmet on, you're at the start gates. You just forget about everything. It's so peaceful. It's just everything's ready to go. So it's all I can say to girls is give it your all. Don't let these boys fool you. Don't let them scare you. Give it your best, and you'll make a lifelong career if you really put your mind to it, and it's the best feeling. I can't even compare it to anything else.
Yeah. So once you achieve that mastery of the machine and the track conditions and all of that sort of stuff, it's a different ball game then once you start, and you can actually be comfortable in those conditions. Hey?
Yeah, 100%. The moment you get comfortable on your bike, the track you're riding, even just comfortable within yourself, you see a huge change. So I just stick to your gut. The more comfortable you get, the better you're going to be. So.
Do you think motocross has grown you as a person?
100%. I think it's made me so strong mentally. When you have injuries, I've had about 2 or 3 years of just injuries on injuries, and I reckon it has made me the strongest person I think I could ever be. I don't think I'd ever be this mentally strong if it wasn't for motocross. I go through things and I think, if I can go through a life-threatening injury, what's this? So I think motocross has changed me as a person, as a rider. I just think it's changed me in general. I really do.
Yep. Well, Taylor, it's been great talking to you, mate. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome to be out here and speaking to you guys.
Great, mate.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.